In this video, my Uncle Butch Bombay is describing some of the locations as we drive around Plainfield to Amo about places that have been important to our Bombay family. Hope you enjoy it.
This brick house here.
Right here?
Aunt Teal?
Yeah, Aunt Teal and Dr. Thomas.
Okay, was she a real aunt or?
Yeah, really. She was.
She's Calvert.
She was no. She was on Mom's side, on Granny's side of the family.
Well, that'd have been Calvert, right?
No, Tomlinson.
Oh, Tomlinson. Okay.
Yeah, Tomlinson.
Is this downtown Plainfield?
So Daryl, since you're taking pictures, if there's anywhere you want me to stop, tell me.
Yeah, you're good.
And you were
The back of your head.
I was
you're getting pictures.
mainly wanting to record your dad because
you were named after the doctor.
20 years, when we look back at his video, it's going to be fond memories.
Yep.
What was the
Oh,
name
it's
of
up
the
that way.
doctor again?
Dr.
comes-
Thomas.
But how were you named after him?
Here.
Oh,
I can see it.
What?
I guess.
It's coming from the right. An ambulance. Or maybe it's a fire. Going fast.
Yeah, he is.
They got a cool thing in all through Plainfield. See these lights flashing on the stoplight? They sense emergency vehicles coming and it switches all the lights so they don't have to ever stop.
Wow.
They're on
I've heard about those.
Yeah. It's throughout
So
all-
they don't have to manually do it? It
they
automatically.
don't.
Right here. Go a little bit further.
Right here.
This is where Grap lived. And
In this house here?
he made every block in that, built the house himself.
Made the block?
Made the blocks, built himself, and then that garage was different there. It had a pit in there, and he'd change oil for different people in Plainfield on Saturdays. They'd pull in that pit there and change oil. Had 2 lanes there, just like you got now. And where that gray building is, used to be a playhouse, and then there's a pond in front of that. Now on the side over here, where it's kind of jets out there,
Yeah.
that's where Granny stayed her last days of her life. She was on a bed there. I can remember laying on that bed, not getting up, and she died there. And then, of course, they had the upstairs there. We never did go upstairs. He had a basket with plastic bottles in it, and that's what the kids played with when they come. He had those plastic bottles out because you couldn't break them. But
Now, did Rose live in this house then
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they built this when they were little.
right, yeah, all the kids grew up in this house.
Oh.
Yeah, they did.
You'll see a picture that has everybody in it, and it's out in this yard.
Yeah.
Has
Is that the big long?
the big
picture?
long picture, and
Okay.
it's in this yard.
That's on the front of your itinerary, I think.
Yeah.
Is that the one, Daryl, you just posted online?
Well,
It was a big long picture.
It could have been.
I don't know if it's the same one or not. Is the one you put on the news or the letter for the reunion, Tammy?
Yeah,
That was it?
I think so.
Okay.
Grandpa was a painter. He painted all over Plainfield and different places. He painted our barns out at home, and he made a living doing that, and then also oil. Well, at one time, he and his brothers had Plainfield Oil Company, and Quaker State tried to buy them, and they wouldn't sell it. Of course, they just grew and grew and grew. Quaker State did, and then that oil company finally just folded when Grant passed away. Farm and different farms around.
Used to haul sweeping compound.
Yeah, sweeping compound. That took him to all the Wayne Township schools, which was around Ben Davis in that area.
Would that been in the like sawdust type stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of like sawdust,
And cornmeal,
but
or I don't know.
it's got coloring in it, and he would sell that to the schools. And of course, they had wooden floors. They'd put it on the floor, and then sweep up the dust, all the stuff.
Now, GF, which was his dad,
Yeah, right.
did he actually start the oil company?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I know that the boys were doing it. There's 3 boys. Let's see, how many Grandpa had? I'm not sure how many brothers he had. I know he was in on it,
Okay.
but he told me the Quaker Oil tried to buy it and they wouldn't sell it.
So, what I heard from like Bab, I guess back when the farmers used to switch over from horses to tractors and stuff, that was big for them to deliver the oil
Right.
to the different farmers.
He delivered oil all over Henry's County,
Okay,
just different places.
interesting.
And when we were delivering compound, I was with him, and Dad took a corner a little too fast, and Gramps' door wasn't shut, and he fell out and rolled around on the floor. He was, or on the ground. Gramp was so mad at Dad, and Dad could just, you know what, sit there and laugh.
He said it took 10 years off his life. He had a knee banged up, and of course when he'd bandage something, there was a rag around it or black tape or something like that. He never did really take care of it, but he was a good guy.
Yeah, he probably enjoyed all you boys.
Yeah, he in his later years, Pat and I would come home after his wife died. He'd be sitting in that same chair,
Yep.
and with her picture in his lap, crying.
Mm.
Every time we go, that's what he was doing. But
And now in this house is a teacher from Mooresville, lives here.
oh, they do.
What does that flag mean? I see Nike, or I don't know.
Well, I can remember coming over here as a kid with Mom and Dad, and it was kind of a dreary on the inside,
Yeah, it is.
you know.
Yeah.
But he'd be sitting in his chair with his pipe, and he had that gravelly voice,
Yeah.
you know, that he used to talk. And then when he went to the nursing home, Mom took us to visit him there in the nursing home, which he never left there.
No, he never left.
Is that who got his piano? That nursing home?
I don't know who got the piano.
It's a nursing home somewhere.
It could have been. I don't know.
Well, Daryl, oh wait a minute, what was I thinking? Oh no, last time when we came here, Dad, the lady who lives here, they let Dad come in
Mm-hmm.
and look at, and of course they've remodeled everything, but Dad told him about his granny dying right there in the living room.
Yeah, that meant a lot to him now.
So
Yeah.
did he have a mold for each brick, or like a
Had-
tray for
yeah,
mold?
Had a mold, he could make them in. Yeah.
So is that cement or a special?
Yeah, cement. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it's got a design on it.
Yeah,
The outside of the blocks has all got designs on
wow, that took a long time.
it. Yeah, I did. He was Grandpa's Townland.
Mm-hmm.
And across the road, Dad,
Yeah, across the road over here, Gina used to live. Right back behind here.
Okay.
which one?
This Gina lived in this house, right? Right here. This one right here.
I remember Gina coming to work on our washer and dryer.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's where Gina's at.
Wow.
And what was his real name?
Eugene.
Okay.
Go inside and outside was covered with tobacco juice. So it probably didn't rot out today even.
Yeah.
Where's the roof that you're working on when he lost his hat? Is that here?
It's on Main Street. Yeah, we were painting the roof over there, and the hat blew off, and it blew it off and went on the other side where we was painting, and he cussed that hat. Of course, Grandpa had a foul mouth. He cussed that hat for 5 minutes. He said, "I've taken care of you for 20 years. If you want to stay in the cold behind that drain pipe, you stay there." And that hat might be still there today. I don't know.
And the other story about you guys painting.
Well, where we was painting there on Simon, his apartments there, there's a lady laying there on the bed. I couldn't get Grandpa away from that window.
He liked the women.
Another funny story about Grandpa and Granny. We used to have a girly theater called the Fox, and Grandpa and Granny went to the Fox one night, and they had their hats up over their coats up over their face, didn't want to be seen. They walked out, and their neighbors came out at the same time.
Busted.
But back then, the Fox movie or the Fox shows wasn't as bad as some TVs are today.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty mild. But now Grandpa, Knew a lot of people. He was an avid fireman. When whatever job he was on, if he was middle paint job, and the fire alarm went off, he was gone. He went to the fire truck and fought the fires. He's on the fire department for 52 years when he retired.
All right, where to now, Dad?
Well,
Across the road?
where do you want to go?
Up to Vicky's and
Okay,
in
yeah.
that area.
Now that farmhouse that you're talking about, that was the old farmhouse?
No,
Or that different farmhouse from...
He said Hollingsworth.
we'll show you where it is.
The
Where it was.
in that picture is the old that I got. That's the old farmhouse.
But not the one you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was thinking it's
No,
not the one out in
Right
Amo.
here's where Bi lived.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you guys lived there for a
We
while.
lived there for the winter months. Then we moved to Amo then after that.
So now, out by the pool, to the Hollingsworth.
Yeah. We'll go out to the McDonald's. Turn right.
Okay, then I can show you.
Awesome.
That tall building,
Yes.
3-story building?
Yeah, that's where
Wow.
Jenny lived upstairs there.
Don't we have a picture with him standing in front of it?
We might.
There is a picture floating around of.
At the swimming pool, they had a convenience store in front. Dad worked there, and of course Mom was in the swimming a lot, and so that's where they met at. Now Grandpa took all his kids out to Hoosier Highland, which is out by Lieber, because he didn't want them being in Plainfield running around and getting in trouble. So he had a cabin out there, and they lived there all summer.
It was behind where the Dairy Queen is, right?
Yep.
And
Right there where the diner is.
they built the pool.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they own the pool.
Terry, back there was our old dentist, I think we went to.
Oh,
There's that nice park Hannah's talking about back in there in the baseball fields.
Yeah,
Next to the boys'
One
school.
man donated all his land.
that house. But
But Daryl's asking you if your dad, right?
Yeah,
oh, my dad?
yeah,
Oh yeah, he and Grandpa got along. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, they got along fine.
But, yeah,
Well, he married his daughter, so you had to get along with him.
yeah, I guess that's true. And then when your grandpa and grandma moved in with you guys on the farm,
Yeah,
yeah, I heard that was stressful for Granny.
it was. Well, what would happen? My granny would tell my dad stories that Mom said, and Mom didn't say them. She just made up stories, and it caused friction with Mom and Dad. It was a blessing when Granny died for Mom.
I'll cut that out of the recording.
Here's her pool now. Plainfield pool.
It's a nice aquatic center.
Yeah, it is nice.
That wasn't where GF's pool was at, was
No,
it?
no.
Okay.
It was down there. We were born out here. This boy's
And the house was here where they lost Richard.
So you were born in the house?
in the house. Well, we was probably in the hospital.
Yeah.
and Richard was about 3 months, was it? He was pretty young.
I don't know, Dad.
When Richard died,
Yeah.
he was about 6 months old. Well, it's trouble. Back then, they didn't have the medicines as they got now to take care of pneumonia. And pneumonia is a serious illness.
Grandma Bombay went through a lot, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She did. Later on in life, it got worse.
Did you ever hear her complain about anything?
Oh, yeah. Who don't complain about something?
I know, I just, in my short life with her, I never heard her ever complain about anything. And that was when she was in all the pain, all that stuff. So I just wondered,
He was a hard worker.
Probably complained about her grandsons in Sunday school. Now, did they go to church growing up?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. Mom and her siblings, her brothers and sisters, might have gone to Friends Church. I don't know because it's right behind them. But Mom accepted Christ in the Baptist Church at Amo.
Okay. We went by that the other day.
This ground right through here was the Hollingsworth ground, and of course just open fields now and building homes on
What did you grow? Or what did they grow that you worked on
it. At home,
at the Hollingsworth?
oh, here they, I'm not really
I guess you
sure
would have been too young to know.
because I was 4 years old
Yeah.
when we moved to Amo, but I think mostly hay probably because you didn't have soybeans then. It was all corn and hay, wheat.
So did Grandpa farm it, or do you guys just live on a house on a farm?
Grandpa just farmed that to Hollingsworth.
Okay.
First farm we owned was at Amo.
Amo.
Yeah.
And then out here is when he started doing the milk route?
When we moved to Amo, they started the milk route.
Okay.
Had bottled milk, and of course then you could sell unpasteurized bottled milk. Anywhere we can go south, just go south.
Not southwest.
We sell bottled milk too. Put it in quart bottles. They were the round bottle. You've seen the round ones that come up have a smaller necks on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we bottled it in.
We're coming up on.
How did you sterilize them?
We didn't.
Oh,
You sold. You cleaned the bottles, but you sold unpasteurized milk.
Like on right here on 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on board.
Right there is where John Little
Yeah.
had a farm. Well, across the street was. But
But the house
house of John
was a
Little's.
little.
Oh, that's the Little's house.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen pictures.
huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was out in
So
the
Sue
country.
lived
No.
there? Okay.
Her-
Tom's dad.
Yeah, her
Oh, okay,
grandpa.
Okay.
But they're trying to
That's where they sold the hay to the boys' school.
sold hay to what?
Boys' school,
Oh.
youth center. Used to be a barn right here, and then there's a cellar house down below. That's where they kept the milk. And I run a milk route for a while. And I'd have to carry them 8-gallon cans of milk all the way up that hill, put them on the truck. That was a chore.
Here's some of those bicycles. There's no company.
Plowed that hay one year, over 1 year, and they plowed up and put corn. They really helped preserve the ground
Right.
when they done that.
Yeah, I remember Dad had a kind of a big chart, paper chart, where he had his years and what crops he's going to put in for each year.
Yeah.
Then every now and then, I don't know if it was in the fall, he did oats to
Yeah.
where he did use it to mix with grain.
Occasionally they'll have oats in their rotation.
Would that be just for the horses then?
Yeah, wild no horses and cattle both.
And the cattle?
Yeah. Oats is a good feed.
Yeah, he'd take that, some corn, down to the mill, and they mix it together, put it in a burlap sack.
Yeah, oats, they got good protein.
Now,
Who decides how much it's worth on your crops when you go to sell them?
Well, then that's decided by demand for it, but most of the time it's done by big companies. They, like, there's bigger companies, they're the one that buys this in the end. They're the ones that sets the prices.
Now, somewhere on 40, didn't they have like the old movie theater?
Right here.
Oh, right here.
Just getting ready to go by it. That's Maplecroft Theater. A little story there. Jack and I was in there, and another guy one night throwing a firecracker out, had our windows down, and the owner came up right beside my window, threw a firecracker off right in my ear. And I tell you, he scared me to death. He said, "You guys get this truck started and get out of here." So that's the only time I ever got thrown out of the movie.
Where was it?
Right there, Maplecroft.
Or the elite.
Troublemakers.
Yeah. Here we got the Cascade School, which is Amo Taker's Tom.
Right.
You didn't go to high school there at all, did you?
No, we moved to Brownsburg when I started the 7th grade.
That's where Mom milked cows. And they lived in that house there. And breakfast, when after she milked, she came over for breakfast. There'd always be a bum sitting there on the steps wanting breakfast. Because, bums used to walk this road. We didn't have 70.
Right.
And they walked this road, and they knew who would feed them and who wouldn't.
So,
Just pull in here.
Granny milked there
Yeah.
when she was a kid?
No, not when she's a kid. After he's married.
Oh,
That's where her and Dad's, their first home was right up here.
okay.
And there's a barn right down there in the woods. And that's where they milked. They only had Aunt Teal bought them one cow and they bought a cow. They milked 2 cows.
Are we going back this way?
No, we're going to turn up that road there.
And the bums would put a mark on their fence post.
So they knew.
They knew where
every
it's
Tells
from.
other
bum,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's an older guy right there.
That's some tires on there.
We saw one of the guys come out of the bushes. He had a
Willard English. He was a well driller and had quite a bit of land around.
Saw a lot of English names for the cemeteries.
Interesting looking barn.
Even if they keep it for the sentimental reasons.
It's not your regular barn.
Keep it up. It's not terrible.
And we thought we had it bought, and somebody came and offered more money, and he sold it. He gave us a chance to bid again. This is the milk house, and right back here is where Bob and Betty put their trailer, and along this way, and Jack and Lois put theirs there. Mom had her big garden in this right here, and of course this now has changed, different. Dad built another tool shed there. This is the granary back here that had an oak granary, and then there's a metal bin there. This is the cattle barn back here, and had a silo back there. And of course that's all gone there. Everything's gone except these 2 silos.
How many cows did you milk a day?
There's 26 stanchions in each barn. Milk 26 cows in each barn there every day.
And that's a barn that we used to play in until Gary and Lisa would jump out of the top part there. It's okay. They won't hurt you.
And right here
There's some hay below you.
is the utility room, and there's a dryer vent there. And one time a possum came in that dryer vent and went into the kitchen because I'd left the door open to the kitchen when I went to milk, and the possum was up on the refrigerator when Pat got up, and she had Tammy. She come screaming, leaving Tammy up there with the possum, and come down there for me to come get that possum out of the house. But
And then in modern times, the milk house was right here. Right
yeah,
where we're standing.
yeah, it was all new over here. But yeah, it was all the old barn between those 2 silos.
On the tour, we also stopped by Amo Baptist Church. This is the church we went to growing up. My grandmother, Rose, accepted Christ in this church, and many of the family members. So, hope you enjoyed the video.